Sullivan versus
A bit sort of discombobulated out there, doesn't he? Sullivan hit that well. He got through the bunch, but he may be a fraction unlucky not to be on something. Well, again, it's not a bad kiss. I don't think he tried to hit that
14.
red with all the runs at this end, but I mean, there is a gulf at the
15.
top of the rankings to the bottom. I suppose that applies to all sport, doesn't it? It's not just snooker. And right now, Sullivan looks, even at sort of 50% of his game, he looks as if he feels he will eventually get the better of Andrew Pagett, who, as Dave said, has played at the Crucible. He's no back number, but he's finding it difficult out there, Pagett, today anyway.
Mentioned earlier that Sullivan needs ranking points. He's world #1 on the official list. That's based on 2 seasons points, but last season he didn't actually get past a ranking event quarter-final. And of course, to get in the lucrative Players Series events that are coming up,
24.
he needs points on the board. So an event like this is important early season.
Been watching the last few shots. He's had like a half grin on his face for some reason. The last few shots, I'm not sure what it is. Maybe he's enjoying himself out there. A little sort of smirk on his face.
$29.
What's going on out there? Well, it's nice to see someone smile, isn't it? A bit like Fred Davis when he was at the Crucible.
Well, the way Ronnie's going with his longevity, he could rival Fred Davis. He played at the Crucible when he was 70 the last time, Fred, in the 80s. Got to the semis, didn't he, when he was 64?
Well, Fred used to play the game with an absolute smile on his face all the time. Even when he missed one, he would break into a broad grin.
37.
Yeah, and Ronnie played him, didn't he? When Ronnie was in his first season. Fred was 77. I think Ronnie was 16. But we've
45.
seen already here, haven't we? First frame, Pagett had numerous chances.
46.
He may not get one now in frame 2, and the match is in danger of just running away from him.
$53. 54.
Played that well. Stun and left hand running side.
61.
Taking the cue balls swiftly around the angles. I think that's where he is dangerous, O'Sullivan. There's not much more to say about him over the years, but even when he just sort of playing like this, just on a bit of a free roll, he can hit spells where he just knocks everything in. He made that ridiculously quick century at the one of the Home Nations events last year. I can't think which one it was now, but took 3 minutes or something.
Well, Pagett doesn't need a snooker. It was a very swift break of 69 from O'Sullivan, 67 on.
1.
Yeah, he's been out in the Far East. O'Sullivan's won a tournament, he's been in Macau in exhibitions, but this is sort of more bread and butter circuit. This is where you build up the points and the form, indeed, with a lot of big tournaments to come. Of course, next week the players will be in China again, the Wuhan Open, where he's due to play Ken Doherty in the first round.
9.
And then they come thick and fast after that.
Yes, Ken has drawn him in the international as well in China, which is in November. So 2 first-round matches against the 1997 world champion, both held over to the venue.
Well, Ken's going to enjoy his week's build-up, isn't he? Because he's stopping off in Hong Kong, where he's taking out a cue made by John Paris for Jackie Chan. That could only be Ken Doherty, that. So I hope he enjoys himself
19.
ahead of the Wuhan Open. Didn't qualify in this event because, as I say, Jackson Page beat him, and Jackson Page will play the winner of this match, which increasingly seems likely to be Ronnie O'Sullivan.
$28. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 28 in the frame.
So O'Sullivan halfway towards a place in round 2 to keep his 100% record in the first round of these Home Nations events intact. 2-0, Pagett clearly with it all to do.
6.
Yeah, we've had a bit of a contrast so far. The opening frame, half an hour, last frame just 10 minutes. This is the danger, isn't it? When you're playing O'Sullivan, you don't take your chances. The match, as I say, can get away from you. He's got another chance here.
Played it well enough. Screwed off the side of the bunch. Got a nice little nudge on the blue as well. Yeah, I mean, he can put frames away quickly when in the mood. Balls are in good positions here.
Six. Seven.
One opportunity early in a frame to quickly extend his lead. Never been a break builder like O'Sullivan, not just because of his
12.
centuries tally, but just his instinctive
13.
thought process in how to just construct them, especially early in a break.
$20. Yeah. $21.
6.
It's a good shot.
28.
Just pushing the red down the table is okay. Yeah. Chance to keep this break
29.
going. Top side of the blues, so a red to the left corner from the right side is on. And O'Sullivan very rarely misses out on anything when it comes to seeing the shots. As I say, that's why he's one of the quickest players in the world on the average shot times. When we used to have a list of those on the old scoring on World Snooker, it seems to have disappeared. But for the course of a season, he's right up there at the very top because of his positional play, combined with how quickly he assesses a situation.
42. 43.
That's not bad, is it? Goodness.
.48. 49.
Yeah, I mean, this could have happened even had he lost the first frame, but there's a sort of sense of inevitability when Pagett failed to close out frame 1 that O'Sullivan would then improve.
56.
Well, that's it, isn't it? Against these top players, you will get chances. There will always be chances. Well, let's say that, obviously, in the case of Mark Allen, it would appear this morning that his opponent, Mustafa Dorgum, didn't get any
61.
real opportunities, although that's a rarity. Mark Allen made 4 centuries, but if at the start of a match against O'Sullivan a chance or 2 comes, and there was about 4 actually, frame 1, if you don't capitalise on it, you can expect a sort of a deluge of breaks, barrage of breaks. Anyway, he didn't hit that one well. 62 is just one shy of enough. He could have potted that one, would have been snookers. But he's still in a very healthy position in the frame, O'Sullivan. The cue went through in anything but a straight line there.
Yeah, not quite done yet, this frame. And you've got to feel, really, the match is pretty much over. Can't really see any way back here unless there's a sudden turnaround in Pagett's performance. Even if O'Sullivan's not at his best, Pagett has to improve massively to stand any chance of getting back into this.
6.
That's assuming he even gets a chance in frame 4.
7.
Mr. Snooker, I'm sure we'll be seeing plenty of him this week.
$13. 14.
Ooh, he's held his elbow there, hasn't he? That was painful.
Have been making him uncomfortable.
Yeah, he felt it.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 20 and the frame.
But he's 3-0 up. Bottom line, and a frame from closing out victory. As I say, Andrew Pagett really does have it all to do.
It's nicely played this time from Pagett. From O'Sullivan, rather. Put Pagett in trouble. This is the thing with O'Sullivan. He can really play, you know, the troublesome safety shots as well as anybody when he wants to. There's not really a weakness in his game, is there? People have tried to find some, but there isn't any. Now Pagett's in a spot of bother here. Playing, I think, off the cushion, trying to get a thin edge.
Foul and a miss. Ronnie O'Sullivan 4. Back here.
Very difficult shot to play this because, of course, he could miss it altogether like he did, but an adjustment which meant that he hit too much of the red would mean the cue ball would stay at the business end of the table and be leave a lot of problems. It could be your last shot, 3-0 down. So he's got to get this right, this shot. He's got to clip the red thin from the cushion. There's the problem, it's not worked. Very awkward shot to play.
And it sets up O'Sullivan's opportunity to get this out the way.
1.
think if he's going to be vulnerable in any round of a tournament, it might be the first, but if he does close this out, it means he still hasn't lost a first-round match in all the home nations events. He's played in all of them.
It's a remarkable record, isn't it? 'Cause I can think of a lot of those matches, and I don't always remember him playing all that well in them, but of course he invites players like Andrew Pagett and other lower-ranked players almost onto the show table to challenge him, and the challenge usually fails.
15.
Yeah, it can be quite a forbidding environment, I guess, for players not used to it. Big crowd, TV, and of course, most importantly, this man. Well, just lost his way here. So not done yet. 22 the lead.
Yeah, I think occasionally he'll have a swipe at a few, but I just get this feeling that right now O'Sullivan is looking just to get this match won. If he has got a problem with his elbow, he doesn't want to be detained out there too long. He may have left a plant, though, for Andrew Pagett, which could be more than an annoyance to him. Let's see how it goes. He's got to catch this very thin. He didn't get very close to it. And this could spell the end for Andrew Pagett, and it's not a very good afternoon, let's be honest.
Well, another Welshman out, Matthew Stevens, has just been beaten 4-1 by Jack Lazowski.
Six. 7.
Yeah, I mean, it just underlines the point I made. No disrespect to Andrew Pagett, but there is a huge gulf between the very top players and the players in the lower reaches of the rankings. I mean, that's just the way it is, and it's not a new thing. It's always been there, and it's exposed on days like this. Pagett can play better than this, but
15.
He had to win that first frame when chances came his way, and once he didn't, he felt that there could only be one outcome, and we've seen it.
Yeah, whatever issues O'Sullivan is dealing
18.
with, someone will still have to beat him. Of course, nobody did in Shanghai. And he's over the first hurdle here in Brentwood.
22.
On home soil in Essex. He's guaranteed plenty of support as long as he stays in the event. It'll be a tough match next. Jackson Page, very dangerous young Welshman, protege of Mark Williams. That'll be one to savour.
Frame and match.
The first frame really told the story of this match. Pagett didn't take his chances. Ronnie O'Sullivan made a couple of breaks after that, and despite issues with his tennis elbow, he has won the match by 4 frames to 0.
And like, share.